Hello, Star Wars CCG players, fans, and folks who just wanted to hang out with me on a Sunday afternoon. Garrett Larson here, Dead Body on Slack and the forums and everywhere else, bringing you the Bespin Regional Final Confrontation. Charlie Arlandson and AJ Hatoum were not able to play this when it first happened. So they are at the time there was not sufficient time, so they are instead playing it online on GEMP, and that means I get to stream it for all you lucky folks. These are the decks they played at the Bespin Regional. They both ended up 5-1. Charlie was the higher seed, so he got to choose first. He is playing Obi-Wan Communing for light side versus AJ's Hunt Down Virtual. Charlie starts with we still got a Grand Army to pull Boss Nass's chambers. Apologize, just getting myself logged in so I can see the chat in here when and if it comes up. Charlie also pitches Insight to go grab Honor. AJ went and got, I believe it was Vader's saber. Oh, he grabbed a Dark Jedi lightsaber with Visage of the Emperor. Both of them have dropped the grabber shields. AJ dropping secret plans. AJ starting with I am your father V. There are many hunting you and Imperial enforcement. Charlie started with Insight along with Saitor V and Walkling V. So I expect there's going to be a host of weapons going on. I did get to watch some. I played against AJ with this deck, and it's similar to the Hunt Down V he's been playing for a while. It's just a solid Hunt Down V with the blaster rack tech. Charlie, I did get to watch some of his game, and he is running Luke with his blaster. So his Rebellion's Hope Luke plus his blaster to do a whole host of crazy things with the Obi-Wan. Luke alone can end up being close to power 20, just like, oh, I'll shoot a guy, and remove his immunity to attrition, even if I don't hit him, and then draw Destiny to power and add 5 with Obi-Wan, and Luke can get pretty powerful pretty quick. So AJ saw Charlie grab Honor, and then used the We Must Accelerate that he had in hand to go get the bridge, which makes me think, oh, he didn't have Honor, so No Escape. Although No Escape's a little less impactful for Hunt Down V versus traditional Hunt Down because it hits only half as often. It only hits during your turn. It doesn't hit during both. So Charlie would lose to it on his turn. AJ would lose to it on his turn instead of both players losing to it at the end of both turns. AJ does lose First Strike from Reserve deck. I think that's a card he would have liked to have. And Charlie drops the Boss Nass Chambers he went and got. He drops Honor. He's got 7 Force, but it feels like this is a draw some cards. Yep, and Charlie's going to draw some cards, get himself picked up. So I am just trying to... You're very welcome, Chris. I really do enjoy streaming. It's something I like to do, and it keeps things interesting. And for some reason, it's not letting me log into Twitch, so I'm not going to be able to comment in chat. I'll just watch what's going on and go from there. So, Charlie draws a few, uses Communing to look at the top card of his force pile, and then he draws it and plays I don't need their scum either to grab Unita, Scanner Tex, or Hoojix. My guess is it's going to be Hoojix. So, yep, he grabs the Hujix out of nowhere combo, and then plays the Return of a Jedi that he grabbed to get Obi-Wan's hut from reserve deck as well. He started Yoda's hut with the communing objective, which is a solid, like, you're not going to really use it, but Sid's Return of the Jedi pulls Obi's hut, and you don't necessarily need to use the Obi part of communing to go get a related location, a related battleground. You don't need that right away. You can wait a little bit and be like, okay, I'll get Obi's hut, then I'll put it down, then I'll go get the farm or whatever. And I believe he might have had an alternate start that was the I must be allowed to speak. But against Hunt Down, it's well, I will start Insight and grab Honor. Walkers was also a big part of the Bespin regional meta, and I think that was another, Honor to slow down Walkers is a great, great card. So we see Charlie stacking the Do or Do Not shield. AJ traditionally runs a couple senses in this deck, and there's absolutely spots where Charlie's going to not want to, let AJ have the free sense. Like, AJ's going to be able to cancel an interrupt if he wants to. It's just Charlie wants to make him pay for it. AJ's drawing a bunch. He draws up to 17. I assume we'll see him lose one. Yep, he loses, and we must accelerate from hand to Visage. I imagine he has a way to dump one of those cards if he needs to, as Charlie didn't pull the thrown back shield. I think AJ's trying to figure out so he can put together enough of a crew that it's going to be something Charlie have to think about before trying to jump on him. This is not, Communion is not the deck you just put out Vader alone against and be like, all right, let's go. Because that just is not going to work well. And Charlie plays Perimeter Scan now to get out thrown back. I don't think there's any rush to do that. I don't foresee that he would have done that. I don't think he'd have gotten AJ with it. AJ stopped at 17 and was losing a card in hand to Visage, this is a end of turn. Thrown back is an end of turn, so AJ could have waited until, hey, Visage will go first. And, like I said, I'd be shocked if there's not a used interrupt he can just dump a la like the Dark Time combo or something. I thought Charlie had the Force, but maybe he didn't. For some reason, I thought he had the Force. I guess he didn't because he activated 9, so for some reason when I looked at it, I thought he had the Force for it. And we see Charlie commune, and he peeks at the top card, dumps it to the bottom. AJ did not apparently have a interrupt he really wanted to cycle, so he just pulls the drop shield so he can save 3 cards with drop. One of them is his no escape, that he must have been what he was pulling for, along with the force field and Vader's lightsaber. Okay. Interesting to pick Vader's lightsaber to save. Like, if Vader's lightsaber goes to used, you're perfectly happy because then it's going to be in your reserve deck and you just grab it. Or does thrown back go after? Oh, thrown back goes after recirculate. So never mind. Then Vader's. Nope, that's why. The Vader saber, you save it because it's an end of turn thing and it wouldn't have recycled. So AJ playing that smarter than I am, because I probably would have absolutely been like, oh, I'll just throw that there. And then I'm like, oops. So AJ searches his reserve deck. I think that was a do I have a Vader search. So his deck seems to be giving him a little bit of trouble just finding what he needs. And he does use Vader's castle to pull Vader, gives him a lightsaber. I mean, he's got 8 force. You got to put somebody with Vader. Again, like Charlie's got 14 cards in hand, and he's been kind of knowing what he's drawing to an extent. You do not want to just give him that. Oh, all right. And AJ hit deploy too fast or finish deploy too fast. He meant to deploy no escape as well. So he is just putting Vader alone. All right. That's a thing you can do. I mean, we know he's got the force field. It wouldn't shock me if he's got something like a force push. You know, AJ is a smart enough player. He's not going to just walk into this blindly. So I imagine we'll see, and we'll see how much force he saves. If he has the push, I think you need to save at least 3, if not 4, because you need to threaten a grab, and you probably want to have an extra one in case Charlie says, well, here's a draw their fire. So, because I do believe draw their fire's in the deck, it would make sense. Charlie's kind of running here's Luke, go get his gun, shoot a guy, wipe the site, and go. So Charlie activates his 11. He's got 15 force to work with. He gives up a verify as well, just goes looking for Boss Nass with the Boss Nass's Chambers. He doesn't have one in deck. This is simply a what weapon is in there that I can go get play. You see that a lot right now with, especially in the open format where you're trying to run your combos and you need to make sure, hey, is this card in here? It's one reason in basically any deck other than Hunt Down, I like to run the Force Push Virtual, Force Push and Pod Racer Collision, because getting rid of those high destiny interrupts can be real, real good. Or like a Ujix. And, for light side, I really like changing the odds. You can give that on a verify, and you can also just subtract 1 from a battle destiny. Like, it's a super solid card. And the force push combo always gives you the force push ability where you can put 2 in your force pile to go grab a card. What it loses in the functionality to the combo card is the time walking a Dark Jedi out of the battle. And in a deck like Hunt Down, the time walk is so strong because it can be used both offensively and defensively. So there's Padme canceling Darth Vader's tech, so he's now no longer immune to attrition. He's also no longer immune to clash or sorry, and he can't cancel anyone's game text on the off chance Charlie does have like a Princess Leia. Well, he couldn't have canceled Princess Leia, but somebody like Lando or Hera, who probably neither of them are coming down this battle. Interesting, Charlie doesn't have Luke to throw down. Looks like he might just be going for the I'm going to clear you off the site and take care of that. And Charlie grabs a card with Rey. And we do see the battle start. There's Padme to add a destiny to attrition. So short of Charlie drawing 3 zeros, which I don't foresee as an issue, Vader, and even if Charlie draws 3-0, Rey adds 1 to the total battle destiny anyways, so Vader's going to die if AJ doesn't have an answer. I feel like AJ's got an answer. All right, AJ is going to swing at Padme. There's a 1. Yep, he's going to take that into hand with enforcement. That's a 5. I think the decision to swing at Padme is a little interesting. If he's got a force push or something along those lines, I would have gone after Leia. They're equally difficult to hit. And yeah, like swing at Padme and force push is great, but you could swing at Leia and force push and get exactly the same thing, except next turn you're not facing 2 battle destinies. So you do get his game text back, which is great, but facing 2 battle destinies seems like a problem you're still going to struggle with. So we do, however, see exactly what I suggested, which is he hits Padme and then force pushes out of the battle. So Charlie's now got to decide if he wants to move them away or what AJ's going to do. Because I gotta imagine, like, AJ had to go digging for Vader. But he could have sniped Padme too. But, like, I think this is a. Honestly, I don't think either one was a wrong answer. Like, there's absolute justification for either one of them. They're both functionally the same problem. So I'm not. eh, I don't think it was a bad. I think it was the fine play. My personal choice would have been go for Leia, but I don't think it was wrong to go for Padme. They both have their ups and downs. So AJ dumps We Must Accelerate to grab a We Must Accelerate, really just to know where the 5 is. Throws down Tentacle, plays Tarkin's Bounty, which either means he doesn't have the sniper or he wants to use it offensively after he starts the battle. He did already lose First Strike, otherwise that absolutely would have been the card you want to do that with. He's got 10 Force. We know he's got Mara in hand. And Mara might be enough to. Like, Mara alone still feels dangerous because she covers 7 forfeit. Like, you can kill both of them, but Charlie's going to draw 2 Destiny, and the total's going to be +1. The likelihood of him drawing 2 3s or worse feels like a gamble I wouldn't want to take. Like, I would want another character there, and there we see the 8th brother, and we'll see him force Charlie to lose a card as he stacks Force Push on Princess Leia. And we see the, okay, fine, I'll lose a card to keep her game text. And loses another R2-D2 and red 5 from hand. So Charlie's was going heavy with the Destiny 7s, which is something he tends to do a lot. Like, that's something I see a lot with Charlie's deck. So now we see the battle, the swing at Leia. There's a 6, so she is going to be hit, absent Charlie having something. Yep, no action, so 6 and 4. 10 is bigger than 4. She's hit. Now a sniper combo would be pretty nasty. And we're going to make him lose another force. There goes the battle planes from hand. Charlie saying, yep, we're going to be fighting on Malachor. Or, yeah, Malachor. Mustafar is his site. Does AJ have the sniper or you are beaten? It does not appear so, and we see Charlie play Return of a Jedi to add another Battle Destiny, so if he didn't have the sniper, I really think AJ probably should have put down Mara as well. Like, even if that runs you everything, like, you're not drawing anything at that point, but you have a much better chance of Vader surviving the battle. And the fact that Charlie dropped that load and then didn't draw anything and didn't do anything else tells me you really want Vader to survive the battle. So, that being said, he decided not to do that. Yeah, so Vader's already dead because that's going to be a total of 6 before the next 2 Destiny come out. 5, 6, 7, 8. So anything other than a 0, yep. Now that's going to end up wiping the site. And it's fine. That being said, again, had he put Mara with him, he does not end up with the site wiped. He keeps Vader on table. And Charlie has to decide how to deal with that Vader, who is still a threat. Like, and frankly, Charlie's not activating a ton. Like, I think that was a mistake by AJ. But AJ's going to draw some and restock his hand. He might have decided that he needed to draw into Vader, and yeah, he draws all of it. So he didn't have a Vader in hand. I understand if he was thinking he was going to draw into Vader. I think the likelihood of losing everyone in that battle was high enough. I would not have gone that way. Like, I would have just not deployed the brother. Like, if you're going to deploy the brother, deploy Mara and say, I'm going to keep Vader alive. Otherwise, you just let Vader go nuts and take them both out, because he's not going to overflow. I don't think you're eating 8 overflow, even with that Return of the Jedi. So I would have played that differently, but I'm also not playing for the Bespin regional title, and these two are. So let's see where this goes. Charlie drops Unita and gets Princess Leia back into hand. That's a real solid play. Princess Leia is going to put in a lot of work here with adding a Battle Destiny against Vader, and it forces AJ again into a position of, you can't just throw Vader down, especially now with the, you've already force pushed. This is going to be a tough spot. So Charlie draws a few more, draws up to 14, leaving himself 6 force. I think he'll probably, he might not draw much more. He might draw one more. He chooses not to draw anymore, and he'll lose 1 to Visage of the Emperor. Lost piles are pretty similar. I mean, right now they're 1 force total difference between total force. Let's see where Charlie goes, or where AJ goes with this. So Charlie uses Communing to peek at the top card of his force pile, and we'll see if he wants to leave it or if he wants to drop it to the bottom. He does know what the bottom card of his force pile is, because he's seen that with Communing a few times. AJ dropping the blaster rack, that's going to be a very important card. So the way that works in this deck, and the way blaster rack works in general, because it's a premier card, but it really hasn't seen play in about 30 years. At any time, you may place a weapon from a character on table holding a weapon, may place that weapon on the blaster rack. So that Dark Jedi lightsaber we saw AJ grab with his very first pull, he can now be dropping Inquisitors, give him the Dark Jedi lightsaber. They can swing it in a battle, and then they can put it on the blaster rack, so if they die, the Jedi lightsaber is there, because then you can redeploy it from the blaster rack on a eligible target. So it'll allow him to no longer lose to I Am Your Father, because from now on he can always put it on the rack with Vader. And all his Inquisitors now, you have to be cognizant of, they have a lightsaber or can have a lightsaber at all times. So Charlie is going to have to figure any battle he walks into, he's probably losing multiple guys. That's very good. AJ draws a couple, deploys Vader, deploys his saber, draws a couple and saves 3. That screams to me, you are beaten. And we see Charlie drop the Draw Their Fire combo. There's 3PO with his parts showing. Draw Their Fire battle plan combo is probably as much to make AJ pay for that drain as it is to potentially make him pay for interrupts. However, that is an interrupt he'll have to deal with, because he does have the force field, but he won't be able to force field and you are beaten if Charlie goes that route. Charlie also drops I Can't Believe He's Gone. This is a thing that's gone through a couple changes, but if Obi-Wan is communing, deploy on table once per battle involving a rebel, may activate 1 force or add 1 to a just drawn battle destiny once per game, can take into hand or retrieve Old Ben. Old Ben allows him to revive a just lost character. character just lost from a Tatooine site, a non-Jedi character just lost from a Tatooine site, you can bring them back to life. And Charlie plays Might of the Republic to get a Senator, Coruscant Guard, Selteria, or Masameda. Is he going to grab his other Leia with that? And AJ stacking it on Tentacle and then sensing it. I'm okay. Draws the Tarkin for Sense Destiny, so he's going to lose 2 Force. Loses a Blast Points from Reserve Deck and a Gick from Reserve Deck. Well, that's, I mean, if you're going to lose those, why not? I don't know that I love grabbing it if you're going to sense it. Like, Charlie's not playing more than one of those, I don't think. And if you're just going to sense it, Charlie doesn't have a way to get it back. I mean, I guess he could walk lane it back, but at the end of the day, it's simply a Destiny 5 puller. If he wants to walk lane, waste his walk lane to get that back, I think you're perfectly content with that. And actually, I'm a little surprised AJ hasn't thrown out the Come Here, You Big Coward shield, especially now that battle order or battle plan's on table. There's Luke, the Rebellion's Hope, in front of Vader. Not a big shock here. Like, this is basically what I was expecting. And there's Luke's blaster pistol on Luke. Luke's blaster pistol V says target a character for free. Target loses any immunity to attrition for the remainder of turn. Oh, there's Anakin with him. Draw Destiny. Target hit and forfeit 0 if Destiny +2 is greater than defense value. If about to be lost, may use 1 force placed on the bottom of use pile. So it's the gun. You don't need the inconsequential. And we see AJ going with the You Are Beaten before battle. He's going to You Are Beaten Luke out of the battle. So now it would be just Anakin versus Vader. Charlie wouldn't be able to add with I Can't Believe He's Gone. He won't be able to do any other stuff. And there's Leia. So it's still going to go through. AJ plays Dark Times Rebellion to add 3 to his total power. That's fine. It's a 5. And Charlie chooses not to grab that. I think that's smart, but I wonder, I think he probably wants to grab Force Field because he does want to be able to abuse Luke's gun. Let's see what happens here. I mean, I feel like Charlie's got a battle. Like, not battling seems like a loss, because if you battle, you're going to kill Vader. Yep. Considering each battle destiny is +1 with Anakin, that's gonna kill Vader. If you're AJ, I think you swing at Leia. But Leia's more of a problem, and more importantly, Leia can't blaster deflection where Anakin can. So I think you swing at Leia. Yep, and that's what we see from AJ. There's a 6, so she's hit. No way is he canceling that to take Palpatine into hand. You're saving that for something more impactful. And a 3, yep, 9 seems like it hits Leia. So she is hit and forfeit 0. It's going to make him lose another force. And Charlie loses another ship. And then, all right, so now AJ's got the sniper. So he pays 1 to sniper Dark Strike Leia. So now there's a better chance of Vader surviving. And now that chance went away as Charlie says, fine, I'm still going to draw 2. Here's my Return of the Jedi. So Vader's going to die. At this point, AJ needs to throw the... All right, that was a mistake, AJ. You should have blaster racked the saber. Charlie draws a Luke the Rebellion's Hope to... and then uses Jedi Lev to cancel and cause a redraw. There's the Legendary Starfighter, which is a 4. So anything other than a 0, yep, that's enough. As a 3 for Battle Destiny means Vader does die. AJ forgetting to blaster rack is a little unfortunate. It's going to cost him a force. And AJ draws a 3 with Seventh Sister, which is not enough to crack Anakin's immunity, but with Enforcement, he's able to take it into hand and then draw a Mara, which is worse. All right, well. How is he 6, 7, 8? Um, how is his power 12? Little confused there, but all right. Maybe I missed something. I'm not sure why his power was not 9. So Charlie does his peek with communing to look at the top card. I don't think he's put anything else on the bottom, so he knows. And he puts a card from the top of force pile and the bottom of force pile. It's the same card. He knew what it was. And now he'll lose 1 to Visage. Um, hmm. Still a little confused how Vader wasn't lower. +3 from the interrupt. There we go, Chris. Thank you. It was throwing me off because I was like, he got 3 from the Seventh Sister. Did it glitch and keep counting that? So thank you, Chris Kelly Esquire, popping in and reminding me of cards that were played that, sometimes when you're doing this commentary side of things, because you need to keep talking and talking about the action all the time, some of those modifiers get missed as you're watching. Like I saw him play it, I said something about it, and then I forgot it was there later. We see AJ drop the Seventh Sister. Charlie's going to 3PO card. I mean, Seventh Sister's fine, I guess. She's got some immunity to Anakin, and maybe you're going to try and see if you can find another Vader with her. Like, I don't hate this from AJ. Like, even if it's just this is going to kill Anakin, that's fine. It's just not doing a lot. There we see Anakin getting his game text canceled unless Charlie wants to lose a force. I gotta imagine Charlie loses a force here. Yep, he loses Princess Leia off reserve deck, and AJ says, "Oh, I gotta run real quick." So, as I said, this is if you weren't here right at the start, this is the finals of the Bespin Regional tournament that happened a couple weeks ago here. AJ and Charlie were both 5-1 and ended up as the 1 and 2 seeds. Charlie was the 1, AJ was the 2. They did not have time on that Saturday to play the final confrontation, and both players wanted the title, so they agreed to hold the final confrontation later on Gemp. And it's later, Bert. This is where we go. So they're playing it out now. Charlie was on Obi-Wan communing versus AJ's Hunt Down V, and then the game 2, which I believe will be happening immediately after this, is going to be Charlie on ISB versus AJ on, I believe we have a plan. AJ is back now. He uses Seventh Sister to draw a card. There's the Dark Jedi lightsaber on Seventh Sister. Like I said, I'm actually totally fine with this as hey, let's make some stuff happen. Here's a Day Long Remembered, which if you lose a battle, if AJ wins this battle, he'll ping another force off of, off of Charlie, which is really all he wants to do. So starts the battle, swings, draws blast door controls, and comm scan detection, so Anakin is going to be hit. I don't think Charlie's going to have anything he can do in response. Return of the Jedi's already been stacked twice. There, AJ does use the blaster rack. There's the Dark Jedi lightsaber going to the rack. And blaster rack, or can blaster only... Yeah, there's nothing that says blaster rack can't hold more than one, so he absolutely could have had it on there. AJ draws a 5 for Battle Destiny, which is a 7 plus 2 because it's plus 2 from the objective total. Charlie draws a 6, which means they tie on the battle. And Seventh Sister is not immune. So Dark Time doesn't do as much as AJ was hoping, but it does. Now it'll go back as a 6 he can track. Problem is he's going to lose 1 to Visage here, and then Charlie's absolutely going to pay 3 to drain for 2 with Luke. And Luke can now participate in battles again. So it'll be the end at the end of AJ's turn. Luke is back to being himself. So that's a little unfortunate for AJ. I think he was hoping to get a little more damage through there. Even if it was simply just another ping or 2. He was hoping to get 1 more ping through with the Day Long Remembered. So, and now he's going to send a Day Long Remembered to used, because the lose 1 to keep it in play is a fairly expensive cost. And it is now Charlie's turn as AJ loses the Emperor's Shuttle from hand. Both players we saw just losing space cards immediately. Neither of them have a system in deck. So losing the space cards is they both know that's the card you're not going to need. AJ loses a Sense from hand to the drain, along with Mara with Lightsaber. So either he's running 2, which is very plausible, or yeah, he's got to be running 2, because there's no way he would put the 1 in. There's no way for him to have put the 1 in used, because he should have a Mara in hand. Now the question is, does Charlie have anyone to back up Luke? He does not. Charlie's just going to pick some cards up. That's I think he would have liked to have someone to back up Luke, but I think he's also okay with the... Charlie's okay right now. Let's see where he goes from here. And really where AJ goes. Charlie is in the driver's seat right now. So AJ, Charlie's just drawing, peeking, hit the point where he says, what do I want to do here? And peaks and then loses R2 and red 5 off reserve, so he loses a 7 there. The thing is, Charlie's only got 16 cards down, like an 11 in hand, but AJ's only got 17 cards down. Like, they're both starting to hit that point where they don't necessarily have enough cards down to be super threatening. They're both in the I can deploy at most 2 guys, and they're also just not activating a ton. AJ's activating 10, Charlie's activating 11. There's another 7th Sister on top of Luke again. I expect we'll see the ping from There Are Many Hunting You, and then a grab the lightsaber off the rack. And AJ's just trying to run Charlie out of guys. And that's a valid strategy. I expect he's holding the force field for this battle simply to keep 7 Sisters forfeit, because if she got hit by the blaster and made forfeit 0, this could be... You could be looking at actual overflow pretty easily. So AJ using 7th Sister to draw the top card of reserve deck. And Charlie plays, were you looking for me to search for a protocol droid who is definitely not in there? Really just get a 5 out of his hand and back into his deck. Especially because now he can activate direct to that 5. And here's the battle with AJ. AJ's going to swing at Luke. That's a 3. He might want to take that into hand. He does not. A 3 and a 6. Okay, so Luke is hit. He does retain his forfeit value, which is fine. He wasn't going to be overflowing anyways. But he can't be used to satisfy attrition. Here's the Luke's blaster pistol shooting at Seventh Sister. I mean, AJ, you've got to force field this, I think. The risk of getting hit is real bad. If you get hit, this is not going to end well. And he's taking the risk. Charlie draws a 5. Now, Charlie can add to that with, I can't believe he's gone. He does not, and AJ doesn't have anything to subtract from it, so Seventh Sister is hit and forfeit 0. And this is bad. Charlie adds 5 power. AJ plays Far More Frightening than Death to add a Battle Destiny. Yeah, I still don't think that's enough. It's all right, and Charlie adds a Destiny to total power using Luke, so and there he pays the 3 for his last Return of a Jedi to add 1 more. Well, I guess I don't know that it's his last Return of the Jedi, but I'm assuming. And we know AJ already lost his Gick. Ooh. There's a 7 for the Destiny to total power. So he is up 11 in power. I guess call it 9 because AJ is going to add 2 to his total battle destiny. And AJ draws a pair of 5s, which is nice. So, like, AJ's at 16 total power. And now he's down 3. Down 4. As Charlie uses I Can't Believe He's Gone to add a destiny. Add 1 of the destiny. And another 5. Dan, I am wildly unbiased. It is bad for AJ because he's losing a bunch of force. Like, had he force fielded to cancel that shot, he'd be losing the Seventh Sister and 2 instead of the Seventh Sister and 9. I am not rooting for... Well, I take that back. I am rooting for AJ as a teammate. However, these are both local players. These are both guys who I've known for a long time and been friends with and friendly with for a long time. And AJ says in chat, I probably shouldn't have risked you missing the shot and should have just force fielded. And yeah, Charlie's going to dump the blaster to the bottom of the used pile, losing scanner text from reserve deck. I'm a little surprised he didn't lose one from hand simply because this is match play. And with AJ peeling, you got this bad. Losing 9 in a battle you started is not awkward, Chris. It's bad. Like, AJ's going to watch this later, and I'm going to hear about it in the team Discord as he says, yeah, that was not what I should have done. So, it's all right. AJ is riding with me to Nationals in Ohio. So he has a whole 12-ish hour drive to hear from myself and Nick and Ellie how force field works, and that maybe he should consider using it once in a while. Charlie activates 1, and AJ uses Tentacle to shuffle his reserve deck, getting rid of those tracked 7, 5, 5, whatever Charlie had there. Thing is, AJ's only got 9 cards down, so if I'm Charlie, I'm putting down Luke. I might check and see if the blaster's there first, but then I'm putting down Luke and going nuts. Yep, we see the Master Kenobi verify. So Charlie searches in his reserve deck using Master Kenobi. There's Luke, Rebellion's Hope, so the gun must have still been in there. Yep, as Charlie says yay, and AJ says no. So AJ's going to lose this game due to a broken heart, it looks like. Charlie throws the gun on Luke, 3PO's a card, and I don't think you need to put anybody else there. Like, Luke by himself is power 8, 9, plus a destiny to power and a battle destiny. Like, Luke is scary right now. And if AJ had, 7 more force down to work with, he might have been able to make this interesting, because I do think he is getting Charlie close to the point of having few enough cards. He lacks the offensive capabilities. Like, this would be, he's probably got one more Luke. There's a Lando floating in there, but Lando's not at all scary to Vader. And I don't know how many more bodies Charlie had that he could throw at AJ. So Charlie loses. My sister has it from hand. And AJ activates 1. Charlie 3POs. This tells me AJ is going to drop Vader on top of Luke. Like, there's nothing else here. Oh, all right. He's going to drop 5th brother on top of Luke. Okay. Charlie's got 7 force saved. Like, is he going to make a liar out of me and have a 4th Return of the Jedi? As we see Charlie losing 1 to There Are Many Hunting You, so he doesn't have to lose Luke's game text, which is something he does not want to do right now. AJ can rack the lightsaber with 5th brother. And yep, that's what he's going to do, is give 5th brother the Dark Jedi lightsaber off of the blaster rack and start a battle. He is up in power right now, but he's not going to be. And see the swing, 5 and 4. So Luke is hit and cannot be used to satisfy attrition. Pretty much non-issue here. And Charlie shoots back. Is AJ going to force field this one? AJ? AJ chooses not to force field this one. Oh, Charlie does miss, drawing the Jyn Erso, and uses the Jedi Levitation to cancel and cause a redraw. There's the 5th brother hit and forfeit 0. AJ, we are going to have a long talk about how force field works and when you should consider using it. Like, when your sole character is going to get hit and made forfeit 0, you want to consider using it. Grumble, grumble. Charlie adds 5 to the total power using Master Kenobi. Going to add a Destiny to total power using Luke. Adds 5 with Master Kenobi again, just to use some force. Just keep doing it. It's cumulative. You're only going to get the +5, but use all your force. Just make it look scary. Never mind. There's a 5 for the Destiny to total power, so we're at 13. Plus Battle Destiny to 7 plus Battle Destiny, and the 5th brother is forfeit 0. There's a 5 for Battle Destiny, which will be a 7, so now we're at 15 or 14 to 13. Basically call it 14 to 14 because I can't believe he's gone, and Charlie chooses a 7 on R2 and Red 5. That's seems like the right call, so AJ loses the 5th brother and 7. AJ has now started 2 battles and lost 16 force because of that. I don't know about you, but that is not the way I think it's good to play Star Wars. At this point, I think we can say Charlie's going to win by 9, 11, 16, probably right about 16, because AJ's got to peel 7, and then he's going to peel to Visage, which will leave him at 4 cards total, because he's at 9, 13. Yep. Maybe he will learn after the second time. there will be a very boring conversation in the car where AJ is, going to learn how keeping forfeit fodder is good. And instead, AJ says, you know what? I'm going to concede it here. I don't think WAP can win by more than 16. And AJ calls the match. Congratulations to Charlie Arlandson, the Bespin Regional champion. I don't think this is his first time with that title, so congratulations to having it again. And congrats, AJ, on making that final. AJ, who has become a very, very good player over the last few years, has really stepped up his game and continues to improve. He made top 8 in Jersey and definitely is contemplating and expecting to be in the mix at Nationals for it as well. So congratulations to both players. Thank you to everyone who watched. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Again, in about an hour, we should have the Gem PC finals with Hall of Famer Chris Gogolin playing against Matthew Harrison Trainer. Dan Tartaglione will be on the call for that. That will be on the Players Committee Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SWCCGPC, and will be on their YouTube as well. So thank you all for hanging out with me, and have a great night.